Trustee Chamberlain, she'll be here later. Trustee Gratter.
Here.
Trustee Hager. Here. Trustee Kuja. Here. Trustee Nancy Smith. Here. Trustee Sonic.
Here.
You don't need to trip her.
Motion for approval of minutes of Board of Trustees meeting of November 3rd.
Second.
Any additions or corrections?
I had one.
Anything else?
On page 5, in the building and zoning report,
Okay.
Trustee Greditor mentions that there were no new houses started in October of 2008 or October of 2009. No. Trustee Greditor noted the very last sentence that there were a couple of properties purchased. He is hopeful construction will pick up in the spring.
Any others? Good job.
Chip Daniel, correction that we're going to put in on page 2 of the police report, final paragraph. Chief Dano mentioned the department held a self-defense class for individuals with special needs on Friday night. Add the phrase, at the Center for Enriched Living.
What page is that?
Page 2.
Before we close it off, can I do something a little unusual? I would have had a correction from the minutes from the last meeting. However, I wasn't here. I talked to Mike, and it's, I think, a relevant change. On page 10 of the minutes from the 20th, it states that the hotel taxes by legislation had to be used for travel. That is not the case. They have to be used for the promotion of travel. And that's the change, that the correction, I think, that's right.
Well, I had one more correction, if I could again, may jump in one more time.
Which, this one?
On this one, not today. Again, on page 5, because Trustee Chamberlain is not here, understanding committee reports, the single line under the first paragraph of Trustee Chamberlain's report says she met with Mayor Kaplan and Chuck Stewart on a buckthorn match. And they don't quite know, I suppose that meant matching funds for buckthorn removal.
I'm sorry, where are you?
There's one single sentence in Cheryl Chamberlain.
This is the November 3.
Yes, on page 5 and 5. It's a buckthorn removal, matching funds for buckthorn removal, not a buckthorn match. You find it, the one single sentence at the bottom of Trustee Chamberlain's. That's it.
Okay. Treasurer's report? I'm sorry. All in favor of approving the minutes as corrected?
Aye.
Abstain.
Treasurer's report?
document look like this, with a cover letter and 2 spreadsheets. Basically, we had five companies bid on it. We had to get a couple clarifications from everyone, and based on the numbers we have, our recommendation is to award items listed on those 2 spreadsheets. One for these elm trees on Village property, the other for hazardous trees along the roadway. To a company called Trees R Us, they've done work in the village before.
They're way lower than everybody else.
They're way lower, so we called to verify that they actually were comfortable with their numbers, you know, so, and they said they were, so they assured us they could perform for those numbers. So it's our recommendation to award in the amount of $2,370 for those items listed on the 2 spreadsheets. And the second item, unless you want to discuss that from now.
Is that for money also?
Pardon me?
Is that for money?
No.
So let's take a vote on this then.
Okay.
Do we have a motion, please?
And I move that we hire Trees R Us, the dollar amount of $2,370 to remove hazardous trees on village property and on rights of way.
Second, please.
Second.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Creditor,
Aye.
Trustee Creditor, Trustee Haber,
Aye.
Trustee Coogan,
Aye.
Trustee Masterson. Aye. Trustee Slade.
Aye.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Second item, I believe I mentioned last meeting also that we had our first application for prescribed burn for one of the residential properties at 3065 Blackthorn Road. And what we did was we wanted to be able to be in a position to issue a permit for that if the village so chooses to have a permit for that. So what we did is we put together the requirements for contractors. It's the other sheet that you should have on your desk there. And this is a pretty detailed set of requirements. These requirements, not everybody can meet these, so the people that can meet these requirements are all qualified to do this type of work. I do have a copy of the submittal for that particular address if anyone would like to look at it and see. We have things in there that include training certificates for the personnel, list of, got a copy of their EPA, Illinois EPA permit, have a copy of the letter from the Fire Protection District, and you note we have, depending on where they are in the village, maybe it's a different Fire Protection District in some cases, but it was our feeling that these requirements provide the village with some surety that the people that do the burning know what they're doing, they know what the requirements are. I did have a call from Mr. Korn when this first came up, because he's next door to him, and we discussed, the issues with the burning. And my feeling is that, particularly in South Riverwoods, is the challenge for the burning. People are concerned immediately about fire protection, those sorts of things. To me, the issue is going to be one of smoke, because of the moisture levels that they have. So one of the requirements in their permit is smoke suppression. One of the other things that we expanded on was the EPA requirement is a notification of the adjacent properties. That's how Mr. Korn was notified that this application was in. And what we did is we changed it to any properties within 1,000 feet of the property line of the property in question. So that gives us a pretty good radius around there. And I think it's really a discussion we need to have of whether this is something the village wants to do or not. I think it's a good idea to be able to have this in our tool bag to deal with the woodlands in the community.